Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Majora's Mask. Alright, we are waist deep into the Great Bay Temple, so let's keep on going here. Now, we're pretty much done with everything in this little area, so we're going to head back out to the big spinner room, which of course we're going to need the Zora Mask for, so let's do it. Alright, so let's dive in and go back down. Now this time we're not going to enter any of the tunnels. We're pretty much done with those for a little while anyway. What we actually want to do is actually make our way out here and up to the north side of the room. There's no ladder to get up. You can see there's some interesting stuff going on there. So we're going to deal with that here in just a little bit. But in order to get to that, it looks like we're going to have to take the long way around. So we want to jump up onto one of these, or climb up onto one of these, I guess. And then from here, wait for one of these to come up, jump to it, and dive on it. Okay, that was kind of close. Then once you get here, you want to climb up and then wait for the next one. Like that. Then right all the way around to the north side, climb up. And now you can see there's a ladder here that's being sort of covered by this waterfall. But, of course, now that we have ice arrows, we can do something with this as well. If you shoot near the top, it will freeze the whole thing and let us get access. We're going to be dealing a lot with those type of waterfall deals, so make sure you keep that in mind for later. And as you can see, there's also a green pipe here that's not flowing that's going in, so we're probably going to be doing something with that in here. And of course we are. So we got a Tektite in front of us, let's go ahead and take it out. Spin attack will do it with the Gilded Sword. We also got some big skullfish down there, so it's a good idea not to fall in if you want to, you know, keep your legs. But we want to get over to that little green thing over there, so we're going to have to use our ice arrows to make some platforms and get across. Which can take a little while and also take up quite a bit of magic, so make sure you're, you know, not using too much. That's probably a little overkill, but I like to be sure. I don't want to jump in. Alright, so then we can push this thing around. And once we do, that's going to start some green water flowing. So we're obviously going to have to use that for something, and of course it's going to be blocked somewhere too, so we're going to have to follow it for a little while. Then we're going to get the hook shot and make our way over here. You could of course still use ice arrows, but it's pretty easy to do it that way, I'd say, and it doesn't use magic either. I've also got a Tektite here that's being a little annoying. You can just do a spin attack whenever it jumps up, and that'll take care of it. Alright, now here you can see, if you look on the map, there's a chest right in the middle, and it's actually up there. You can kind of see there's some space to walk, and as well as a hookshot target. So what we're going to have to do is use the ice arrows to make our way back over there. And of course I just jumped right in the water. Alright, so let's climb up here if Link would like to. There you go. And make another one quick before this thing melts. You have to get pretty close to the wall here, but as you can see, it can get a little hard to start making platforms that way. I might be too far to the side. Okay, no, maybe not. Alright, so let's look up and grab the hookshot target, and that will let us get onto the ceiling. There is a chest right here. Nope. Come on, open the thing. There we go, and that has Stray Fairy number 8. So, yeah, didn't forget about those things, did you? We've still got 7 more of those to collect. You can go out this way if you want to grab a red rupee. You know, might as well since it's there and it's free, basically. Alright, so now that we have done some more stuff with that, we're all ready to head back out. You can see the red pipe is flowing back into that very first room we went to. So that's what we're going to do. You can get out there a couple of ways. Wow, I actually took damage from that. That's crazy. I figured he'd just roll. You can go up this way and ride the spinner, which is actually, no, now that I think about it, it looks like the only way back. So, alright, so jump on that, then climb out here. Head all the way back to the very first room. Actually, I guess it's technically the second room, because that was that one opening room that had the Stray Fairy in it. But you can see we have been dealing with red pipes, and there's sort of a red thing there that looks like it's going to do something with that water wheel. And you can see that the water that we caused to flow is now coming up right there. So what we're going to have to do to get on that is use our trusty hook shot and get over top of it. A little sensitive there. There we go. That'll let us drop on the water, and then get finally over here and let the water flow. And, of course, it's getting ready to turn night on the first day, so that's always fun. Alright, so we finished pushing that thing around. It's going to cause water to flow out right there. And, as you can see, that's also going to sort of counterbalance that water wheel there. So right now, everything's kind of powered down. Seems like that might be something you'd want, but actually we just want to reverse it instead of let it power down. So we're going to put the Zora Mask on, and go down here. You can see there's another yellow thing right there, so that's obviously what we're going to be dealing with. So let's climb up and do it. And then turning this one is actually going to block off the yellow water supply, and that'll cause the water wheel to start spinning in the opposite direction. So now pretty much everything in the temple has kind of been turned around. There were a bunch of tunnels that, remember, we couldn't get in before because the water was flowing the wrong way. Well, now it's flowing the right way, so we can finally get in those. This is, I think, pretty much the halfway point. I mean, I guess. We're about halfway done with the stray fairies, and we've switched the water around for sort of the second half. So, it just kind of feels like it to me, but... Alright, so let's just avoid these guys. I don't feel like dealing with them. We're going to have to make our way across this thing again. Thankfully, that doesn't deactivate too. Alright, so let's make our way up here. And it may not be immediately obvious, but all of this is actually going in the opposite direction now. So it's also night of the first day, in case you didn't know. But that is, of course, going to grant us access to a bunch of other places. So let's go ahead and dive in and start exploring those. Now here we've got, that tunnel right there is actually the one we want to go in, so let's make our way down a little bit so we can line ourselves up. And, yeah, this current can be really, really strong, so let's get near the wall this time. There we go. Now with this one, what we actually want to do is drop down, stand in the middle, and use the shield and electric. We can break that part right there, and there's a stray fairy inside. That's kind of mean, because if you miss it, you're going to have to come all the way back out and do this entire thing again, so... Alright, now this room here is also pretty big. There are quite a few puzzles inside. You can see there's an elevator right here, which we're going to take. Now let's switch back into human form, get out the ice arrows, and look up. You can see there's a waterfall, so let's freeze it when it's at the highest point. Which will pretty much just cause this room to power down, which is what we want, because now we can walk across all this stuff. Alright, so we jump out here, and I think, yeah, if we go around here, it can be a little bit awkward trying to walk. As you can see, you kind of fall randomly. But if we go up here, you can see there's a chest in this little alcove. Let's stand up top and use the hook shot to get to it. Use the hook shot to get to it. There it goes. Open that up and find Stray Fairy number 10. I guess, okay, yeah, I guess we did just pick up that one. Okay, for some reason I was thinking we were still at 8, but okay, yeah, we're good. Alright, now we're going to hop back onto this very carefully. If you do fall down, you can always unfreeze that with the fire arrow. We're actually going to have to do that at some point anyway, so... Alright, now here we're going to jump onto this ledge. If we make our way back around here, you can see there's a hidden chest on the map, so we're definitely going to be getting to that. But the elevator that we're going to need is sort of over there, and we can't really, get in there. It's right in that little alcove, so we're going to have to reactivate this room using a fire arrow. So let's shoot it from here. Which will make everything start moving again. So now we're going to wait for this elevator to come by. And if you want, you can do this a couple of ways. You can either refreeze it and have it stop, or you can just try to use the hookshot while moving. That's generally what I like to do because it's a little less work. Then just aim for the chest, make your way in there, open it, and as you might be expecting, here's Stray Fairy number 11. Alright, so we're making some pretty good progress on those, which is good. Alright, so now we're going to have to make our way there. I guess it's a good idea to switch to Zora in case those guys decide to attack, which they are, of course. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to have to sort of repeat the puzzle one more time. But this time, obviously, we're not going to be going into all those little optional alcoves. So let's switch back over to ice arrows again. And let it fly. Alright, so everything stopped once again, and this time we're going to follow the pretty obvious green pipe into the next room here, which is right this way. Now this room is kind of cool. It is the one I'm thinking of. As you can see, it's a pretty big open tight place, and we've got a bunch of seesaws here, sort of, with a bunch of different waterfalls on the ceiling. So we're going to be dealing with some weight problems here, I think. But first, before we do anything, we want to hop down in this little hole. Dive. You can see there is a barrel down here. If we swim into it as Zora Link, it'll cause a fairy to pop out, which we can then grab, and that is number 12. Alright, so now let's surface and start dealing with these things. Alright, and first off, we're going to head over here. There's going to be a series of 2. You can see there is actually also a chew here with arrows, so that kind of gives you another hint of what we're going to have to use. If we stand on here and then get out our fire arrows... and look up at the ceiling, we can see there's one of those frozen waterfalls above this one. So if we melt that, it'll cause the platform to rise. We can get to the next one, and we're going to have to do the same thing over here. And I'm also about to run out of magic. That does happen a lot in this dungeon. There's probably a green chew in here with refills, I would say. But anyway, this platform's going to lift us up here. Then we can jump this way and get to this little green switch. As you can see, this is where the green water flow is being blocked. So, alright, we're going to fix that right now. And there we go. It's all flowing again. Now, instead of going back down, oh yeah, there's a real bomb chew down here, so I guess we should look out for him. Okay, well, I guess that works. Alright, we're gonna kind of have to do this room again now. I wasn't quite expecting that. That was kind of weird. But, yeah, we're gonna have to kind of refreeze everything to get back up. So, that kind of sucks, but that's just how it works, I guess. Alright, so we've made it back onto the green platform, so now let's actually continue on this time and not be knocked off. You can see there's a little sort of elbow here to this pipe. We're going to have to jump up as Zora Link, because he's the only one tall enough to do so. Now here, there's a little caged area that we can drop down into. There's some pots. Magic would be nice, and of course we're not going to get any. But you can also see there's a chest across the gap here if we use our hookshot to get to it. We can open it up. And there is Stray Fairy number 13. So there's only 2 more left to grab, and they're actually all in one room, so that's pretty good. Now let's go ahead and refill on magic a little bit. There's probably some magic refills over here, too. Yep, as I thought. Okay, so now in order to actually get through this room, we're going to have to deal with the first seesaw. Again, there's another frozen waterfall here. So it looks like there's a lot of different things going on, but really all you need to worry about is the waterfalls. That's kind of the entire room, which is a little bit disappointing, but I guess that's how it works. So we can jump up here and then go through this door, which is going to lead us actually to familiar territory. You can see that we've picked up that chest already, the door up there on the ledge, the pots where one of the Stray Fairies was. So you remember this room, right? This time we're actually going to have to head out the opposite way, because remember, the entire dungeon is sort of reversed now. So, oh well, there you go. Swim in through here, and this is of course going to bring us back out to the main room. Alright, so now as we go this way, we're actually going to head into this very bottom one here with the solid green pipe. And one of the Stray Fairies you can see is right there. We're going to get that one in a little bit. So let's just dive down here. There's also another sort of exit tunnel over here on the northwestern corner. We can get some magic refills if we want, and you can see there's a Stray Fairy inside. Now, with this one, a lot of people seem to not like this Stray Fairy, and of course I somehow missed it, both on the way there and back. Not sure how that worked. But, you know, it would be kind of annoying because, as you can see, there's a current going through there which is going to pull you out. So if you miss it, there's really no going back. We're actually going to ignore it because there's a much better way to take care of that doesn't involve any trial and error whatsoever. So we're going to go over here and try to make our way onto this pipe. It's a little narrow, but we can make it. There we go. Now, as we go right here at this little elbow joint, we're going to turn back this way. This is a pretty good place to shoot through the little thing in the middle. I don't know what you call that, because you can see there's a Stray Fairy in a bubble right there. You pop that, and now as we stand here, we can use the Great Fairy's Mask to not only get that one that was right there that we just freed, but if we stand here and wait a little longer, you can see we're also going to get that one that we just popped down there in that tunnel. So doing it this way lets you completely bypass having to, you know, swim through there and missing it and having to go all the way back and all that. So that's definitely the way I'd recommend to do it. Alright, oh, looks like we're going to have to pull this one. I was just pushing it and looking elsewhere. Okay, so pull it this time. Which, as you can guess, is going to cause the green water to flow, and also a little pillar to come up right there, which is going to lead us to the boss door. Alright, we are done with this place. We picked up all the Stray Fairies, all our equipment upgrades, and we are good to go. So let's hop on this thing and make our way across. And this is the boss door for Great Bay Temple. So, yep, all of the puzzling is now behind us. We are completely free of all that. Like I said, it is a little confusing, but when you look at it, you can really sort of compartmentalize it. You know, I mean, there are only so many tunnels you can go through. If you can sort of take note of what's in each tunnel, it'll go a long way towards helping you find your way through. If you look down there, that's quite ominous if you ask me. So I think we are going to wait and fight the boss in the next video. Until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.